welcome to the Truth Radio Show. I'm your host, Dan Bidondi, and we got a special guest with us via Skype. I mean, the last time we talked to him, the last few times we talked to him, he's been in a lockup, and we're great to have you back out with your family and everything. And this is Dr. Kent Hovind of drdino.com. How you doing, Kent?
Hey, doing great, brother. Good to be on your program.
Great. It's great to actually see you, man. And I wish I could have been down to Florida when you got out, but I wanted to interview you right away. But it's like, you know what, let me get this guy some time with his family, get to know his wife again and all that good stuff. And, because it's been a while. And you want to describe your feelings? First of all, give you a quick, brief introduction to yourself as well for new listeners.
Okay, well, I'm Kent Hovind, one of the most hated men on the internet. My YouTube channel, Kent Hovind Official, is just going viral, brother. I can't believe it. 1.6 million views. I've only been home 90 days today. I was a high school science and math teacher for 15 years, moved to Pensacola, Florida here in 1989, and started a ministry called Creation Science Evangelism. I traveled all over the world teaching on science and the Bible and defending the Bible as being scientifically accurate. The IRS did an investigation on me for 9 years, couldn't find anything wrong, so they finally came and arrested me and my wife with a SWAT team for structuring. I said, I don't even know what that is. They said, you took your money out of the bank in amounts less than $10,000. I said, well, yeah, and that's a crime? Yep. They gave me a 10-year sentence and took all the money that was structured. They're just absolute government-sanctioned thieves, in my humble, totally unbiased, and correct opinion. Absolute highway robbery, what they did. So people need to get Congress to repeal the stupid structuring law, make it retroactive, and pay the damages, because they really damaged me and the ministry here. So there's plenty on the internet about that structuring. But anyway, I've been out for 90 days and starting from scratch, building the ministry, and God's been good.
Amen to that. And again, when last time we talked to you, you were in prison and everything, and every 15 minutes you had that little interruption with the voice thing from the prison system. But you want to describe 10 years now. I mean, a brief description of how 10 years in jail for something, especially for something you didn't do. I mean, do you want to, in brief words?
There was absolutely no crime whatsoever on my part, none. But half the Bible is written from prison or captivity by innocent people who were put into captivity or prison. So it was good in a million ways. I mean, God really used it for the further His kingdom and to change lives. And I was able to write quite a few books. I wrote a book about the prison system called The Kennel, based on kind of like Animal Farm, George Orwell, a little 100-page booklet about the real purpose behind the prison system. It's a money-making racket. Judges and congressmen are allowed to own stock in the prison system. So the more people they lock up, and for the longer times, the more money they make on the backside. If they aren't criminals, I don't know who is. That's absolutely insane that we allow such a thing. I wrote a book called What on Earth is About to Happen, for heaven's sake. This is about the end time. For years, I traveled and taught on the topic of creation and evolution and the flood in the days of Noah. And I never really talked much about the end times because it wasn't really clear in my mind, but it is now. So I've got this big chart behind me, which I'll be covering in my seminars from now on, about the rapture, when the Lord is coming back and how He's coming back after the tribulation, not before, and how we get raptured out before the wrath of God falls, but not before the tribulation comes. So anyway, so prison was good in that it got me to change my theology on a couple of things. Whereas I was so busy before traveling and preaching, I probably would not have had time to really research it. I wrote 37 books. We're getting a lot of them up on my website, 2peter3.com. Just the number 2, the word Peter, and the number 3. If folks want to go there, new website, just getting things started. And the YouTube channel, Kent Hovind Official. By the way, Theodore, you got a sign. Need a sign up here to let folks know when I do these interviews, so to say. Like they do on CNN in the background, they got something, they're advertising something,
Yeah, I like your background. That's great. We interviewed Dr. Steven Anderson too, and I watched his videos, his documentary about the pre-trib rapture. Not to go off on that subject right now, but yeah, I mean, I was like, wow, it's in the book of Matthew. I mean, he says after the tribulation, these things will happen. And, for years myself, I was hoodwinked to believe that we're going to be magically beamed out of here before anything would happen. And I remember I was writing to you in prison about a year or two ago. You asked me on my beliefs on that, and I guess that's when you I think it was 2-3 years ago. I'm sorry, but it's basically when you were basically contemplating when the tribulation really is. I was thinking the same thing myself, and it challenged me to look into the information. And when I seen Pastor Stephen Anderson's videos, I mean, it's like, wow, this is clear as day.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed I missed it for 40 years reading my Bible. And for most of church history, for 1,800 years, the church taught we're going to be here for the tribulation. And then in 1830, a Scottish girl claimed she had a dream. 15-year-old girl said the church gets raptured out before the tribulation. And that crazy idea spread from that one Scottish girl's dream.
Wasn't that part of Calvinism too? With John
and
Calvin?
Calvinism, yeah, with Darby. And
yeah.
dispensationalism all started that same time from the same guy, John Nelson Darby.
Wow.
Totally wrong, all three of his doctrines.
Oh, it is. And I know you've been, and the thing is, I think God led you to creation for a reason, because if we don't know the beginning, we're not going to know the end, because Jesus did say, as the days of Noah, so shall it be in a lot of days. And, to know the future, you need to know the past, you know what I mean? And you definitely know the past very well. And I studied a lot of your documentaries. Ken Hovind on his website and YouTube, he's got scores of seminars, debates with evolutionists. I mean, Ken Hovind is the master of debating these people. I mean, he makes them look dumb in minutes, because, he knows the Bible, he knows history, he knows how the planet works, and, that's all you really need.
Well, it's pretty easy to make someone look stupid when they believe they came from a rock. That is stupid. I mean, there's no kind way to say it. It just is stupid. I did a video, 100 Reasons Why Evolution is Stupid. It's up on YouTube, and a lot of, I guess, 250,000 people now have watched that one. That was one of my favorite ones. It's dumb. Anybody thinks they came from a rock needs some serious help, and I'm here to help them. The doctor is in. Tell him, give me a call. I'll straighten him out.
That's awesome. And yeah, we've been promoting your videos for a long time. Yeah, even since the first time I seen them, we made copies, gave them out to family members and everything. And it's just, again, a lot of churches lack this knowledge. They do. On creation, on the end times, they teach a little end times, but not details. Especially creation. How many churches out there right now allowing or not saying nothing to the congregation? Their kids going to school every day learning evolution. I mean, shouldn't the Sunday schools be on top of this?
They should. Well, the people ask, should we teach creation in public schools? Well, the bigger question is, should we even have public schools? Okay,
Yeah.
But if we're going to have them, they shouldn't be allowed to teach any religion. But they are. They're teaching evolution, which is a religion. You have to believe in evolution. It's not science. Nobody's ever seen a dog produce a non-dog. They can believe that if they want, but it's not science. And it shouldn't be taught. And they certainly should not teach lies in the textbooks. Typical textbooks today have over 50 lies used as evidence for evolution. Like they're still teaching the embryo growing inside the mother when she's pregnant has gill slits. That was proven wrong in 1874. It's not true. Get it out of the book. But they won't remove it because they don't have any replacement. They'll say the snake used to have legs because the male boas and pythons have little claws. Well, those claws are used in mating. They've got nothing to do with walking on land. But they still teach that's evidence that the snake used to have legs. They're just simply lying to the students, and that ought to be stopped.
Well, it should, and they really should. And the biggest joke is the Pangea theory. What's the other one? The Piltdown Man, the missing link. They still teach that in some museums today. I mean, it's totally ridiculous. It really is. And when you look into it, it's not even science. Science doesn't even back this stuff up.
Well, they're always finding a bone in the dirt, claiming it's our ancestor, like the new one, RD-ARDI. I say, guys, hold it. I don't want to hear about the latest bone you found. Okay, you've been teaching this dumb religion for 160 years. What evidence do you have that has stood the test of time? And the answer is none. None of their evidence has withstood scrutiny over time. It's all disproven. Secondly, I point out, a bone you found in the dirt cannot possibly be evidence for any evolution, because when you find a bone in the dirt, all you know is it died. So that it had any children. You sure couldn't prove it had different children. And why would the bone you found in the dirt be able to do something that no animal today can do, which is produce something other than kind? Cows produce cows, cats produce cats, dogs produce dogs. No exceptions, none. Every farmer on planet Earth counts on evolution Not happening. And it doesn't. It only takes place in the imagination. It's a fairy tale for grown-ups. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, if evolution is true, why don't we go to the junkyard, get a bunch of parts, leave them in our backyard, and maybe 1,000 years from now we'll have a perfectly working Ferrari.
Exactly. Sounds great. Let's try that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And what human cell is a million times more complicated than a Ferrari.
Absolutely. I mean, just the eyeball alone. I mean, it's more complicated than New York, Tokyo, and it's just crazy. It really is.
Yep. I do admire their faith. I mean, a person who believes that evolution has an incredible amount of faith, and I think, I wish I had that much faith sometimes, you know.
Oh
Really
yeah,
do have a
they'll
lot
fight
of
you
faith.
tooth and nail. I mean, they'll call you names. They'll even target you if you misspell the word, God forbid. And you know, what I mean, but you know, they're so, you know, like you said, faithful, so dedicated to try to prove you wrong, try to prove evolution right. But they themselves don't even know they're being misled.
I wonder, some probably are genuinely sincere. Some, I think, really know they're teaching a lie, but they fully understand if they admit there's a creator, that gets the camel's nose in the tent and everything is demolished after that. If there's a creator, there might be some rules. They don't like the idea of God telling them what to do. The Bible, if you add up the dates in the Bible, which are given in Genesis 5 and Genesis 11, the Bible clearly teaches God made everything in 6 days, 6 ago. And on my bottom timeline, that's the creation, 4,000 BC, 6,000 years ago. Then came a big flood in the days of Noah, about 6 years later, when God destroyed everything. Everybody drowned. And that's where the fossils come from. Before the flood came, the people lived to be 900 years old, Genesis 5. Well, reptiles never stopped growing. So during this time frame, they would get 70 feet long. This is the age of dinosaurs, not millions of years ago. They were big lizards that lived with Adam and Eve. Noah would have taken them on the ark. Probably babies. Just be sure to get a pink one and a blue one. I'm sure Noah could figure that out. After the flood, lifespans drop off rapidly. You see that in Genesis 11. And so today, not many people make it to 100. Man, before the flood, you were still a kid at 100. And so things were very different. The Bible view is very simple. The flood explains all the fossils, explains the geology. Why do we have so many layers of rock in the earth? Well, the evolutionist says each layer is a different age. No, no, no. All those layers formed in one big flood. Go get a jar and put some dirt, rocks, gravel, sand, mud, grass in there. Add water and shake it up, and then shake it gently for a minute and then set it down. It'll settle into layers as you watch. The layers of the earth are from the flood in the days of Noah, not millions of years of evolution.
Absolutely, in the flood. I mean, if I tell people all the time, all right, if you don't want to believe in the Bible, I suggest you do. But however, the ancient Mayans, the Aztecs, the Greeks, the Chinese all talk about a great flood. Even in North American Indians and everything, all the ancient cultures all talk about a great flood that took place on the earth. They talk about the giants, which the Bible calls the Nephilim. Everything that Kent Hovind talked about is talked about in ancient cultures outside the Bible. But I mean, we know the Bible is 100% correct.
It is, and they also, all the ancient cultures have a legend called the Golden Age. They all teach, man used to live to be 1,000. Why would they all teach such a thing? Well, because it's true. They did live to be nearly 1,000. Adam was 930. Noah 950. And then the 2 Peter 3, where we get our website 2 Peter 3 from, 2 Peter 3 says, the scoffers in the last days are willingly ignorant of the creation, the flood, and the coming judgment. They don't want to admit God created the world, because that would mean he owns it. They don't want to admit there was a flood, because that demonstrates God's authority to judge his creation. And they sure don't want it. There's a coming judgment coming soon to a city near you. And this timeline is all the details of this little yellow stripe and the purple area about what's coming next, the 7-year period and the 1,000-year reign of Christ. My book on the topic, What on Earth is About to Happen, is coming from the printer in a week or two. It's up now as an ebook if people want to get it on 2peter3.com. But it deals with all those topics, the creation, the flood, and the coming judgment.
Oh, nice. We definitely got to promote it on the show here. And I mean, I can't wait to read it myself. I mean, like we've been following you for God knows how long, and I remember that when you, I know switching gears back here for a minute, when they framed you basically to put you in the jail. I mean, right then and there, I knew, well, this guy's doing his job because the establishment wouldn't be attacking this guy if he wasn't doing his job right. And I remember right about the time, I think, before you went to jail, there was that thing came up in the court, things about intelligent design and evolution, that big debate. And the thing is, if you would have been in that courtroom, for the creation side, you would have definitely made all those people look dumb in minutes, and hope, maybe would have been learning creation today. But what are your thoughts on that?
Wish I could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to me, it's just real simple. There has to be a designer, and anybody that can't figure that out needs some serious help. And I'm here to help them. I'll help them if I can.
Exactly. In the TV or the computer screen you're watching on right now, I mean, everybody could all agree, I don't care what religion or whatnot you are, there has to be a blueprint and a designer to make the components work, put the resistors in the right places, the circuitry and everything else. So for something simple as that screen you're watching us on, don't you think the human flesh and everything else, I mean, you all have to do is look around. You can't tell this is intelligent design. You got to be a lunatic.
All you got to do is pick up a penny. Do you think lightning strikes in a copper mine could make a penny?
Huh.
In a trillion years, it'll never happen.
Exactly.
So, something as simple as a penny, it's just not going to happen. They're dreaming. I think they should need to wake up and smell the coffee. The problem is if they admit, there's a creator, and the next question is, who is he? What does he want? Are there any rules? And they don't like his rules. That's why they run from the creator concept. That's the only reason.
Oh, yeah, and that's where they structure their whole new world order up. When at the beginning of the show, when I said we need to know the past to know the future and everything else, because what they're doing and do the school books and everything, they're changing the past. They're rewriting history so they can say, hey, this is the way it's supposed to be. We're going to put this whole new world order upon you, one world religion and everything else. And, it's a good thing. It's for the better of mankind because we're evolving. And, I mean, I've been alive for 41 years, and I have not seen one animal, one human evolve yet. We're still human beings. I see dogs are still dogs. I don't see dogs flying now. Unless I knew anyway. But I mean, it's really crazy. Like in one of your videos, you explain how Charles Darwin was studying finches, the bird there on an island for 30 years, and behold, even to this day, there's still finches.
He did discover something interesting. The finches have the ability within their gene code to produce of finches, heavy beak, skinny beak. Okay. He concluded probably all finches had a common ancestor. I would agree. It was a bird. And then he went to the wild speculation that evidence somehow proves birds are related to bananas, which is about as dumb as they come.
Oh, yeah, and I don't know where the hell he got that from, but it's totally crazy. Now, I want to switch gears for a second. Now that you're out and all that, are they still trying to pen charges on you? I know I'm all over the place over here, but we got to get you back on some time and do a whole evolution versus creation thing here. We got some dingbats online that always want to debate you and everything else. Maybe we could set something else. I don't know if you want to do that, but we definitely want to get you back on to expose evolution, and everything else. And back to this whole case there with the IRS. Are they still trying to pen charges on you right now?
Well, they tried to put another charge of mail fraud to give me 20 more years in prison for mailing a letter.
Wow.
They did give Paul Hansen, the church trustee, 18 months in prison for mailing a letter to a lawyer. It is the dumbest thing I cannot comprehend this is happening in America. I would like everybody to contact your congressman and say, would you please do a complete investigation of this case from start to finish, repeal the stupid law, make it retroactive, pay the damages, and then investigate everybody involved in this from the top to the bottom. I did nothing wrong. I think a lot of them did. And I think it needs to be thoroughly investigated. So that'd be something people could do to help. As far as somebody wanting to debate, I'd be honored. I can't find opponents. If you want to do it on your program, brother, I'd be thrilled and glad to do that. Set it up. Let me know when. Get a hold of the office here at 2peter3.com.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'll be glad to debate him.
Me and Eric Davis, your buddy there, we debated this guy, Batty. That's his last name. He really is a Batty, but he wanted to debate you. He tried debating us on how you should be in jail and everything else, and how you broke the law. So me and Eric, your buddy there, we went at it with this guy here. But he had nothing. But he's constantly harassing me. So you got to get me on with Ken Hovind because I want to prove to him and everybody else how he broke the law. I'm like, well, I'll ask him. But this guy is. I think he's an IRS plant, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But
he definitely is. He's an IRS plant. Don't put him on your program. But if you want to get some specific questions from him, I'll answer them. See, before he started picking on me, he had 3 people following his YouTube. Okay. His only claim to fame is he picks on Ken Hovind. What do they call those people that they can't?
Trolls.
Trolls. Yeah, he's a troll. Okay. So don't feed him. But if you have some specific questions, if he thinks I broke the law, send me the law, show me how I broke it, and let me discuss it. But I don't want to debate on that topic. I'd rather debate on creation versus evolution. That's much more my expertise. Okay?
Oh, definitely. We'll set something up because I love that because you get these so-called experts in science and evolution, and you get them on with you, and you make them, you prove them wrong and everything. I mean, just proves God and the Bible even more. And we're gonna try to set something like that up too. But to the IRS too, I want to ask a question. Basically, the whole thing happened. Now, them going into your bank account, them going into your, that pastor's mail, try to get you for that. Isn't that not violation of the Fourth Amendment, your privacy? I mean, who the hell are they to go into your bank account, to look into your bank account, and even open your mail? I thought that was a federal crime.
They violated, I think, a lot of laws in my case, which is why there needs to be a thorough investigation. Who are those agents? Where was their jurisdiction? Did they have authority to do any of that? Please call for an investigation. Congress can do that. That's their job. So they ought to. And now, the election year, people are looking to get reelected. This is the special time to get everybody to wake up and smell the coffee and do something. So, but if they don't, I'm going to go on and serve God and try to win souls and do what God's called me to do.
Well, I keep going on about the prison stuff, and you're out. I'm glad you're out, and now we have a new beginning because Ken Hovind, as you see him, he's back in action right now, and we got to expose, evolution, the pollution called evolution, because people say, oh, it's the past. No, the past is a dramatic effect for the future, because if you don't know the past, was Edmund Burke said, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. And if you don't know this history, you got to blindly repeat it because exactly what the establishment is trying to do. They corrupt the minds of the kids. They have the politicians out there. There's just a whole bunch of psychotic monsters out there, brainiacs trying to, steal your mind, to corrupt your mind, to make them believe this whole global system is a great thing. And, again, we're going to get him back, Dr. Ken Hovind here, back on the show for, the evolution and creation.
Sounds great. I need to go here, brother, but keep up the great work.
All right, thank you, Ken. And it was a pleasure seeing you, man, and we'll be in touch.
All right, thank you.
God bless you. And that was Dr. Ken Hovind, and folks, we need to get this message out. And I'm sorry, I was all over the place. It was back and forth between his jail stay and the IRS and back and forth to evolution. But the thing is, that's one of the reasons why the establishment targeted him, because he's destroying the entire theory of evolution single-handedly. You got to watch his videos. That's 2peter3.com, his new website now. DrDino.com, I think that's his son's. Eric Hovind, we had him on the show a while ago, a few years back, but we're going to definitely have him back on. We're going to try to set up some debates too. So if anybody listening out there and you think you're a brainiac on evolution, you could prove creation wrong, okay, get a hold of me. All my contact information's on this video here, TruthRadioShow.com, my website. Get a hold of me. We'll set the debate up, because I know there's a lot of people out there itching to do this. And, I don't mean to debate people myself either. It's just the thing is, we're trying to prove a point. And to prove a point, we got to get hit with all adversity and prove that adversity wrong. But anyway, the whole point of this is Dr. Ken Hovind, he's back out of jail. And again, they drummed up false charges on Ken Hovind. And, thank God he's out. I'm so happy. But, this is a new beginning now. Dr. Ken Hovind, as you see, he picked right up where he left off. And with even stronger messages now. But this is Dan Bidondi for the TruthRadioShow.com. God bless.